Hey everybody, welcome back to Falling For You. We're back on Fall Guys. Well, today a brand new show came around named Pegwin Palooza. Now this one requires you playing 2 levels that you make it through, and then there's always a team final with penguins, one of the 2 ones, either Pegwin Pool Party or the other one where you're, 2 colors. Basically, you're forced to be on a team and hopefully you don't get screwed. This was actually something that happened quite a bit to me today, because if a uneven amount of players end up making the final for whatever reason, you could end up on one of the teams that has less players. And would you know my luck? I had 4 straight teams where that was the case. Unfortunate, but it happens, and I guess that's kind of like the gimmick of this where it's like, well, you'll play a survival that has a Pegwin on it, and, well, you're probably going to get the team with less people because, well, you just will. Of course, doesn't happen to everyone, but I'm unlucky, so it happened to me. Nonetheless, you can watch my playthrough of this, where we suffer through some levels. I'll show the variety of levels I went through. And then, of course, I actually won one, so that was cool. Nonetheless, like, subscribe, let me know your opinion in the comments, and of course, stay tuned for more Fall Guys content. I got tons of clips and uploads coming all throughout the week, so stay tuned. Alright, so let's get into it. My first run, we got Tundra Run. Now, of course, we know that Pegwins exist on this level normally. Once you get past the left section right here, instead of choosing to go through the middle where there's roller pins, you go through the left or right side that have punching bags, and there's usually a little penguin down there. Not too surprising. So here we are going through here. I decided to opt to go through the middle. Only 2 more people in front of me. Not too bad. Only 8 people have to qualify, so that's cool. So I was waiting here patiently as I can. Wait for the fan to go through. Pushes you. Been here, done that tons of times. Now we have flippers and a roller pin with spikes on it. I made it through, snuck in with that gold, and now we're on to the next level. That level being Big Shots. Now traditionally Big Shots is not a level that has a Pegwin, but they decided to throw it on this leaning platform that goes from left to right as a cannon shoots at us. You can see that there is 3 cannons, so we have to be a little, pay attention to that. As you can see, one guy tried to grab the Pegwin, and then he tried to jump over and then jump off. So the Pegwin did its job. It distracted that guy completely, and he died. As you can see, we only need 2 people to die, so shouldn't take long normally. However, you can see that 2 people are watching, which means somebody who didn't make the first round is watching us. Nonetheless, we made it through. Yippee! We're making it on to a final since there's only 3 rounds. And of course, we get to play one of the Pegwin levels. This time it is Pegwin Pursuit, and wouldn't you know, just like I mentioned, if you can count correctly, there is a 3v3, so not too bad. It's actually quote-unquote fair. However, if we look at the levels, it probably is that I am marked with the lower ranked people, which is unfortunate, because a lot of the people that can make levels usually aren't the greatest at particular levels that involve teams. Like right there, you just see my teammate grabbing my other yellow teammate. And you know for certain that when I pick this one up, he's going to be trying to grab it from me. So we were already at a disadvantage because of an IQ difference. And unfortunately, I have this little yellow dude following me. So I am not shocked if he tries to grab it from me. But it would look like that there are 3 penguins and they're going to have 2 of them. So that's not going to work. We're already here, so let's speed this up 2 times speed, because why should you have to watch me suffer any longer? I can barely stand to suffer in real time to seeing this, nonetheless a voiceover. So, we ended up losing. We didn't get our 15 shards. On to the next one. The weekly requires us playing this 5 times, so maybe we'll win 1 to 5 times. Spoiler, we won at least once. However, I would love to hear how your experience went in the comments. Did you end up getting a lot of wins? Did you end up having a player deficit in terms of you had less players than the other team? Were you fortunate enough to be on the team that had more players? Perhaps you only played this 5 times because that's all you had to do to get the shards for the weekly. Maybe you queued up with friends. I've yet to really try that. My friend Kiki that I queued in with this particular round number 2 didn't actually make the finals, and then I did the rest by myself. So that's curious to see how that ends up going. Lately, when I've been queuing with friends and things, they don't actually end up in my team in the finals when we queue separately, even though we queue together in a party. Really not sure what's up with that, but maybe I'll test it out this week. Once again, if you have done that and you end up on the same team, let me know in the comments below, as maybe that would make me want to play it more this week, because that'd be cool if I can play with my friends in the final. We'd have a better chance, of course, winning. Nonetheless, here we are on Skyline Stumble. Here I am in the front, running ahead of these people. As I mentioned, my friend Kiki is behind me somewhere, but we'll find out where she is after I end up finishing. There's a couple Pegwins, I guess, on this level. Kind of thrown in the middle. I think they're in that middle part that we just passed. Here I am on the flippers. Let's see here. Did we go all the way up in one go? We did. Pretty fortunate. Looks like it went A-OK. We are first over when we get our gold medal. Let's check over where my friend Kiki is. There she is. Lost track of her real quick, but we're going to put her on 2x speed so that we can keep the video moving just a little quicker. Here she is on the flippers. Made it all the way up, and she's the last one in. Well, let's see what round number 2 ends up being. What do you know, that level ends up being Tundra Run once again. Let's see if Kiki and I can both make the final. We have lots of people here. Let's see, 7 people qualify this time instead of 8. I think it was 8 last time, right? I can't remember. Nonetheless, the usual, go through the snowballs, try not to get hit by them. We got whacked by the big one. Got hit by both of them, nice. Alright, we're gonna go right through the middle once again. None of these shenanigans of going on the sides. Let's see if we can make it through. Okay, less punching bags this time, but we gotta wait for the order. Okay, the first one started. Let's hop on. I can jump right over. That'll work. Now we wait for the fan. Let's see, we're gonna go right side once again. Can stay in the middle. Looks good. We got a fan and a, what, lollipop sort of thing. I dove right over it. Let's see where my friend Kiki is. She's over here, and she accidentally ran into the pole of the, what do you call it? Whatever the heck it's called. But anyway, she wasn't able to jump on the fan, so she didn't make it. And here we are on the Pegwin level once again. And would you believe it or not, this time I had the player disadvantage. There was not only 3 of us compared to 4, but all the high levels were on the other team, I believe. So that's always awesome. However, let's provide a voice to what actually happened here. I was trying my best to carry my team. We actually were in first place for a moment, it seemed, but then they couldn't get the Pegwin, and basically felt like a 1v3 right here, where it's like, okay, I'm trying to grab this Pegwin, just can't seem to maintain it, and then this guy ends up grabbing it, and well, I got no choice but to chase him down. I can't be responsible for what the rest of my team is doing, but it definitely felt like a 2v1 most of the time when I was going after this Pegwin. As you can see, my teammates, they're better than the later ones, I suppose. They actually were putting up a fight, but there was a point where they just stopped. Like you can see, we're stuck at 70 right now, and it's just like, okay, we lost. I had a feeling we were going to lose because of the disadvantage, and yeah, proving my point. So here we are moving on to the 3rd game, and wouldn't you believe it, it's Tundra Run. What? Tundra Run? Not again, right? Yes, we get Tundra Run once again. I guess it fits the festive season, but it's a little tiring now 3 times in a row. So tiring, in fact, I'm going to put it on 2x speed just so we can see less of this level. Here I am running past the snowballs once again. The first batch, we made it through A-OK. The second batch, we made it through A-OK. As you can see, there is another Pegwin behind me wearing this costume that required 5 squad wins and 5 ranked knockout wins, which additionally, those will be videos coming out this week. However, this time, without Kiki, we are jumping into Slime Scraper. Ooh, this will be a fun one. How many will survive? Of course, it won't be an even number, and you already know what the final means for me. Yes, that means that I am awaiting an uneven team loss. Woo-hoo. Let's jump into it 2x speed once again. Well, let's jump into the commentary. We made it through all the flippers of the first part. Now we just make it over here. Don't know what that guy was trying to do, but it looked like maybe he was trying to grief me. It was a fail. Somebody ended up dying. It was probably him. We're going to make it patch the punching bags. There we go. Now we're on the spinners. Jump over these. Alright, 3 more spinners to go. now we have the swings. Let's try not to fall down to that gap. Came very close, but we made it through the swings. Now 3 sets of donuts and a couple gaps, made it past the swing. And here we are once again at the final. Now, unfortunately, what do you know? We're playing Pegwin Pool Party, so it's a little bit of a change up. Except this time we have 5 people who made the finals, and guess the team who only has 2 teammates, and of course there's 3 blues. Now, believe it or not, this dude on the left of me is actually called something concrete, and he's a level 70 in rank, so he should have performed a lot better than he did. Unfortunately, ranks can be farmed on this game without any skill, especially if you just play Explore, and a lot of other ways, like playing in squads together. Nonetheless, this guy did me no favors, and I was basically solely responsible for our points. I tried my best at this little maneuver here. I got around the blues. I was trying to buy us some time, but my teammate really didn't know what was going on. As you can see on the far right of the screen, there's a guy holding a Pegwin way over there. We're the only 2 holding them, so like, bro, do you have any clue of your surroundings? It wasn't going to last long, but here I am once again with a Pegwin, and yeah, it's just not going to last too long, unfortunately, so it is what it is. I ended up giving it up, and there wasn't much to do except, well, take an L and try to play it again, and hopefully end up on the team that has more players. Another thing I despise about this final is how long it takes. Like, do we really need over 2 minutes running around with a Pegwin? Like, at most, make it a minute and just get it over with. Yes, I know it's 15 shards, so it's actually a decent amount, but still, it kind of annoyed me. I also noticed additionally there was a ton of sweats usually playing this, even in small lobbies, which is kind of weird, but also, you know, as great as they are at making the final, they aren't great at working as a team, especially when it requires playing this level. So we ended up making it. Let's hop into another play, and hopefully we get a little closer. Here we are back on Skyline Stumble. Let's see if we make it once again. This is a level we've been very familiar with. It's almost in every show that I play normally every day. Of course, not every single show, but eventually you play a couple rounds, you usually get this level at least once. But here we are, once again. Got knocked out by a banana. Whoopsie daisy, got knocked out by an orange. Okay, not doing too well. Looks like we're almost in last place. Let's see if we can still qualify and be one of these 7. I see a lot of people up there. Let's see if we can get around. Yes, this thing's still open, so we have a good chance. Moving around just well enough. Oh, we made it right up. Nice job. Now, I kept this part in because one of the people that beat me in the previous final, right there, ended up not making it. I guess because he was AFK or something, but nonetheless, a little small victory right there, seeing someone who had the, what do you call it, count advantage, end up getting a loss. Always love to see it. Here I am back on the Rhino level. I have it on 2 times speed because, well, this level takes forever and might as well speed it up 2 times because you're just avoiding rhinos. Of course, let me know in the comments how many times did you get this level during your playthroughs. Maybe today, maybe you'll find out as you watch this video after playing it yet again the following day, or maybe throughout the week. I actually had it show up a couple times. Seems like a survival normally shows up round 2. Not always, but sometimes. But we were able to make it through. And we have Pegwin Pursuit once again. Let's see how many we see here. I see a 2v2. So we have a fair chance. Maybe. Let's see what ends up happening. I'm going to go for that penguin in front of me, I believe. Yep, that one right there. Let's see how long I can keep it. So here I am running with this Pegwin for my life, in fact. Just chilling. Looks like we are losing because yellow probably has 2 penguins. Just lovely. And I see my teammate, who I believe when I checked was a 22. Just trying his hardest, but I know, just had a skill issue. So what in the world was I supposed to do? So I just sat here waiting for my demise. This guy rubbing in my face saying, "Thumbs up, bro." And I'm like, well, what am I supposed to do except for wait for the final? Because I could leave. I mean, a lot of people would leave, but then it doesn't count as a play in the mode. And that's the whole reason we're playing this, besides making a lovely video and enduring suffering for you, the lovely viewer. So of course, hit that like button if you enjoyed my suffering. And of course, if you love Fall Guys. Nonetheless, I'm just chilling here waiting. He walked up to me and gave me a hug. Now we're gonna move on to my 5th try, and this time we got to play Treetop Tumble. A little change of pace. Was nice to have a new level besides Tundra. However, with that, this is our 5th time around. You've watched me endure 4 heartbreaking losses. Not really my fault, but because of poor teammates and being outnumbered. What are you supposed to do? Nonetheless, we're jumping into this one, hopefully thinking we're gonna win it. We'll end up seeing what happens, but 1 person, 2 person has already qualified. We're the 3rd. Let's hop right back into Stomping Ground. And believe it or not, I actually was counting how many people died. Like I was like hoping, keep it even, keep it even, keep it even. Then as I watched the person die, I was like, okay. And then it was even, and again, and I was like, okay, got our even number. And then I saw an odd play amount of people still alive, and I was like, oh boy, that just signals that we're having an odd final, and I'm gonna end up on the less fortunate team once again. Believe it or not though, yes, I've said that phrase quite often in this video, but seriously, believe it or not, we actually had, I think, even teams perhaps. We'll have to see what happens in a few moments. We did make it. And perhaps, in this Pegwin pursuit, had a chance at getting the gold. Now, of course, there was no gold penguins. We just have 3 standard blue penguins each time, so that was a little fair. We also had the ability to piggyback, which I never did. I don't think my teammates could ever figure that out, but luckily our opponent didn't seem to figure it out either. Here I am defending my teammate. Pretty good job. And we had a really big lead. I was like, okay, I actually have some optimism. Always great to have optimism on a game, especially Fall Guys, where you don't feel like you're actually going to, you know, get usable teammates unless you actually know the people. But here I am, just running around with the penguin, having a little fun. And believe it or not, we actually won. Maybe it wasn't designed to give me 1 win in 5 tries, but hey, we accomplished what we came here to do. Yes. And look at you, the lovely viewer got almost a 20-minute video of me showing this mode, playing it to its completion. We got our 5th play, we got our first win for 15 shards. All this for 15 shards, by the way. And we completed the video. So, whoop-de-woo. There is our win. As always, like, subscribe, let me know your opinion in the comments, especially your experiences with this mode. Hopefully you're still enjoying Fall Guys, regardless if it's perceived to be dead or not, entering in 2026. And of course, stay tuned for my journey with more modes, more fun with friends, and of course, my pursuit for 10,000 crowns after almost 5 years of playing this game. Nonetheless, catch you guys in the next video. Stay tuned for more videos along with tons of other games that I'm playing, making content of just for you. Have a wonderful day.